Hello Mavericks, this is Imri and welcome to today's currency recap. It is Thursday, November 16th. So today we'll be doing a review of the trading day. We'll be going over any meaningful news. We'll be covering the broader equity markets, taking a look at some major commodities as well. We're going to then be doing some technical analysis on the major indices, taking a look at some currency baskets, and then examining if there's any major news reports to close out the week. And then finally, we're going to be taking a look at some trading setups and opportunities in the crypto and FX markets. In this currency recap, we will be using some advanced technical analysis. So we believe technical analysis is the fundamental skill for every profitable currency trader. Maverick Currencies is currently hiring serious technical traders for a trader position. Traders will trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of the profits. So if you're a technical trader with a technically based trading system, we want to meet you. Click the application link in the description below this video to learn more. So let's break down today's market action. All right, so the big news of the day today was we had a large move lower in oil, and economic data in general is pointing towards a gentle slowdown. And I'm seeing a lot more analysts right now being in the soft landing camp, which is dovetailing nicely with that point. As far as performance on the day goes, stocks mostly flat, crypto and oil down big, gold up about 1% or so. In terms of fiat currencies, the yen was the big winner on the day, and then we had the dollar and the euro kind of in second place. The other European currencies held their own as well, the Swissy and the pound. It was the commodity currencies that were the biggest losers on the day, however, with the New Zealand dollar leading the way. And then over in cryptocurrency land, Bitcoin Cash more or less relatively flat, but the other big three, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, all down big today. Natural, we're seeing pullbacks after some pretty sharp trending movements to the upside. As far as the market outlook goes, we're at a +2 at the moment. We've cleared the 20 and 50 period moving averages. However, the slope of those moving averages is still neutral. So we're bumping up against some resistance here, and we've had a blistering rally from the end of October to now, and it's looking like it's time to take a breather here. We will see a pullback. The question is, how deep is that pullback going to go? Are we going to get more of a sideways shape in this pullback or more of a sharp pullback lower to test the moving averages? It's too early to say right now. We just have to wait and see. I'm seeing signs, obviously, on the price action that the market's slowing down. You can see that with today's smaller candle and even the candle from Wednesday, very small, right? So we're seeing signs that this rally is slowing down, but no good evidence yet that a local top has been struck. As far as news goes, there isn't really too much to end the week. We just have retail sales out of the UK. Today's unemployment claims were the highest in a long time. And again, that just points to a gradual slowing down in the overall economy, which is supporting the market's hopes and beliefs that inflation in turn is slowing down, which in turn should mean a pause to the Fed's current rate hiking cycle, followed by eventual rate cuts. All right, let's break down some currencies. So taking a look at the velocity score here, velocity scores here for fiat and crypto, we can see that on the +3 side of the spectrum, all the way over at +3, we've got the Japanese yen. On +2, we have the euro, the dollar, and the Swiss franc. Neutral is the pound and Bitcoin Cash. And then on the negative side of the spectrum, we have the New Zealand dollar at a -3, the Aussie dollar at a -2, and the Canadian dollar rounding things out for FX currencies at -1. And then we've got Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum all on the negative side of the spectrum also. No surprises there. And the way this currency board shakes out is going to make it very interesting now as we hop over into TradingView to take a look at some possible trades. So first up, we've got the yen. going to look at the yen on a daily chart first. And you can see we've got this nice bullish engulfing candle. That's after the yen's coming from oversold conditions. The trend in the yen, however, remains down. We can clearly see that the trend in the yen remains down. And we've had bullish engulfing candles in the past that haven't really led anywhere. So most notably right here, you can see we had a bullish engulfing candle and then a bearish candle the very next day that actually broke to a new low below that day's bullish engulfing candle. However, given the size of this candle, I do think we have to put some respect on the yen's name, at least for now. It's natural we're going to pull back after such a big move. And the 1 hour RSI is quite overbought. So I do think we will pull back a little bit here. From an LU wave perspective, I would say that it's likely we're dealing with a 1, 2, this is a 3, we need a wave 4, and then a final wave 5 push higher before we get a larger correction. So I'm inclined to look to buy the yen on this corrective sequence that we're about to see now. In the basket, I can see us pulling back to about the 38.2% retracement of this latest swing, which started this morning in overnight trading. So that would bring us back, if we got to the 38.2% retracement, roughly where we were trading last Tuesday around 8 p.m. Okay, next up is the dollar. So in the dollar, we're basically bouncing through a number of different ranges. So we broke through key support, critical support, which I pointed out last week. Then we popped above those levels. Now we're back down. If I had to simplify things, I'd say here we have a high, here we have a low, here we have a lower high. Today we made a lower low. Are we going to get another lower high today? That is key. If we do, then the dollar is going to be in some trouble. And based on the price action I'm seeing today on the 1 hour chart, it does in fact look like we're going to be getting that lower low. All right, I don't want to speak too early, and I don't think this bullish pullback is done yet. We might go a little bit higher, test the upper boundary line of this corrective channel one more time before rolling over. But yeah, I'd be looking for reasons to be short the dollar. The Swissy. So the Swissy is also in a very interesting space. I'm very neutral on the Swissy. I don't know whether this bearish sell-off was enough to conclude, a pullback. I think it's more likely that we're going to get one more leg lower before we can look for strength in the Swissy. So I'm inclined to look for Swiss franc weakness, but I don't see any clear setups right now. The euro, on the other hand, looks very bullish. So the euro surprised me. We've broken out, we've taken out resistance, and very simply put, I'm looking to be a buyer of the euro on pullbacks against relatively weaker currencies. So for example, in the future, that would include the yen, and in the short term, it could include euro Swiss. Cable. So the pound broke out of this upward sloping channel and then broke back into it, and today we have a bullish day. I'm fairly neutral on the pound now. If we break back above this channel tomorrow, then I'm going to revert back to being bullish. And if we stay below the channel tomorrow, I'm probably going to adopt a bearish stance once again and look for lower in the pound. So key tomorrow, and perhaps it's that news event out of the UK coming in out at 2 a.m. retail sales, I believe I said earlier, which is going to help shape the intermediate term direction for the pound. Canadian dollar, however, is playing out its forecast really well. I said look for lower in the loonie, and that's exactly what we're getting. So again, Euro CAD, potentially a great pairing there based off of relative strength and weakness. The Aussie dollar, I'm somewhat neutral as well. However, again, if we go back to very simple trend analysis, here's a low, here's a high, here's a higher low, here's a higher high, here's a higher low. Let's see if we get another higher high. I think the Aussie could potentially surprise here to the upside. However, so long as we remain below this blue trend line, I'm going to be neutral / leaning bearish. And then finally, we've got the New Zealand dollar. So the New Zealand dollar, again, I just don't see very clear setups right now. On the one hand, this move up on the 1 hour chart looks very bullish. I would love to see whether or not this pullback stops very soon and we can look for higher in the Kiwi. On the other hand, if we break below the low from yesterday morning, from Tuesday morning, then I'm going to look for reasons to short the Kiwi. So I've got my parameters set for the Kiwi dollar. It's just a matter of the market now moving enough to tell us exactly what's going on. Actually, finally, we're going to take a look at the crypto basket. So I think, crypto's getting tired. We need a bit more of a pullback. I think the basket's got to go back to where we were towards the end of October at least. You can see how overbought the relative strength index is. So the RSI either has to reset to neutral by hitting oversold conditions first, or it's going to find support, at prior bottoms in the RSI. And yeah, that's not too far from where we are right now in the index. I'd estimate that would bring us back to roughly where we were towards the end of October in trading. Well, all right, traders, that's it from me for the time being. Always pay attention to relative strength and weakness. Cannot emphasize that point enough. Always pay attention to proper position sizing, and always ensure you're following your trading plan. That's it from me. I'll see you guys. Actually, not next week. Next week, we will be off for Thanksgiving, so I'll see you the week after. Bye for now.